Welcome to Figuring Out Homestead Life with Ginny and Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Ginny. How are you?
Good. A little.
So we're trying something new today.
Yes.
Massive learning curve.
Yeah. We'll see.
So we're using Squadcast, which was recently purchased or acquired by Descript. So I'm going to try editing the video and the podcast in that after we're done today. But these things did not work for either one of us. And I know mine are cheapo ones from the airport, but you could hear me, but I couldn't hear
Yeah.
you. And I had a microphone. I still have the microphone plugged in, so hopefully that's going
Oh, yeah.
well.
Oh gosh. Well, it's a learning
We'll
curve.
see.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. We're trying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. You're not.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, so much. Our house is going on the market, as I think we kind of talked about before. So today is the list day, which is scary. So it's very,
Yeah, so everybody go buy Ginny's home.
yeah.
Multiple offers.
Right. So we'll see. We have an open house so it's very bittersweet. Yeah. So I started crying when she emailed me the listing. I was like, oh, like even yesterday I looked out the window and the for sale sign was out there. I didn't see anyone here putting it up, but evidently someone was putting it up. And I was like,
They're
oh,
sneaky.
it's really for sale. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, you guys could always change your mind.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Because then I'm like, oh, I feel bad. And my sister's like, first of all, no. And people do that all the time. So I'm sure it's just a normal part of the business and it is what it is. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, I wish you the best, and I think your asking price in this market is extreme.
Yeah, like too low, I feel like, but that's what she keeps saying. So I'm like, well, hopefully it'll get all the people in.
Yeah, the pictures in the video are just incredible.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
if Randy and I didn't have what we have, which I would trade our house for the property. We could take your house and just move it here.
Yeah, that's what I wish I could just like pick up the house and move it someplace. It's a bummer. So, and then I'm like, now I feel really spoiled for have lived here, and now my expectations are a little like marred. So,
Oh dear.
yeah, so so we have that going on. I don't think too much else. I did make some sourdough chocolate chip cookies because I tried those that Second Bite Farm trail tour day, and they're good. They're not as good as Second Bite Farms for sure. They're a little like cakey. They're more cakey
Okay.
than like a normal chocolate chip cookie. They still taste good, but I want to try to mess with it to make it more like cookie like, not cake like. So yeah.
They do have a little bit more experience making sourdough chocolate chip cookies than you
I
do.
mean, it was my first time making them, and they did come good. And I did ferment them overnight for like 12 hours. So I don't know, maybe if don't do as long of a ferment, if that I'll have to experiment with that too and just see how that changes them. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
What about you guys? What have you been up to?
So a lot of research on what is this remote podcast recording. Delved into because we were in Riverside, and then in my search for Riverside, I came across Squadcast, and then I found out a lot of kind of actually negative reviews about Squadcast, but it was mostly about but with their purchase by Descript or the merging with Descript, their pricing went down. So I'm hoping that this works. I really hope this works because Zoom was not really working for us.
Right.
Anyway,
We might just have to work out the kinks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's just like, figuring out a whole new platform is challenging.
Definitely. Some people think I'm tech savvy and some people know I'm not. And Randy was describing himself as the Luddite in the family, and I just feel extremely challenged. So
Yes. Well, I just get like frustrated and then I'm just like, forget it because I don't understand what's happening. And then I just get like aggravated and that doesn't ever help the situation.
Right. Right. And I try to take shortcuts, and it's like, oh, don't take shortcuts. We did send the turkeys. We took to the processor. When did we? Tuesday. And they're
Oh,
back. Yeah, we picked them up the same day.
oh, okay.
So we have some big birds.
What was
But
your biggest turkey? Do you remember?
well, I weighed them
Oh,
all.
okay.
I weighed one yesterday, and it was 24
Oh,
pounds.
okay.
And there's about 4 or 5 that are at least that
Mm-hmm.
big, maybe more.
Yeah, they looked big when
So
I was there, and that was like, was that already 2 weeks ago almost? So,
that was a month ago. Oh wait, no. Sorry. It was a month ago that we processed the first batch
yeah,
ourselves and decided these things we doing this. So yeah, it was 2 weeks ago that you were
yeah.
here. So they're big. We have been looking at trucks because Randy needs a new
Hmm.
truck. Will the pickings on what we need for a truck, because we haul such things,
Yeah,
heavy things being pellets, like a whole pallet, or feed, we are needing a bigger
right.
truck that can handle the weight. So, and then you have the United Auto Workers strike, which is not helping the situation.
Oh,
And yeah, so anyway, we're just gonna yeah, we're gonna.
it's his truck.
And interest rates, interest rates suck right now.
Yes, you don't say. Seems
I don't say, and I know,
like in a truck.
yeah, and it doesn't matter how good your credit is.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. It's like the interest rates still suck. And actually, are we being penalized because our credit scores are? What did I just say? Holy crap! Credit scores don't. Are we being penalized for having good credit?
I had heard something of that before, and I was like, that can't be real. And then I just didn't really look into it further because I was like,
Yeah,
no. But who knows?
they can't really. So yeah, I'm interested to know if that is the case.
Right.
I don't want to tank my credit. I have worked very hard on repairing my credit after a major life change a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah. So anyway, yep, that's what's going on here. Going on here. You want to delve into this week's topic?
Yeah, so we are talking about fall homestead preparations. So,
Yes.
yeah, and there's like a couple different categories for that. So the first one, do you want to talk about like gardening related
Sure.
fall prep? So what I mean, I don't usually like go too crazy. I mean, I typically, well, of course, I just clear out all the gardens of like all the old plants, and then I usually
Yeah.
just like cover the bed with either, like leaves when we're raking up, or I'll get just like straw bale, maybe some like leftover mulch stuff like, and that's really all I do. I don't do too much. Like that's really all I. This year I'll
Yeah.
probably put like chicken. So I might just sprinkle some of that on there.
Yep.
Usually I'm not doing it this year because we're moving and hopefully whatever we do move and then I'm not bummed that I don't have it. But usually this time of the year I would like be planting garlic. I would be planting maybe some fall bulbs for flowers next year, but I'm not doing that this year. But typically I would be doing that as well. So what do you guys usually do for your gardens?
As far as garden clean, we'll probably be doing this soon, is putting the laying hens, the laying, not in the barn. We'll be moving the laying hens closer to my herb garden, and then we'll put them in the herb garden and let them clean that up and fertilize. And don't really do garden bed prep. Like we don't plant cover crops. We don't do all of the things that all the people do.
Right.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
And we are going to plant garlic. And this is an idea for you too. We have this old wheelbarrow that we're going to use because we're going to be taking out most of our raised beds to hopefully start building the new sugar shack.
Oh,
So I can't plant it where we would normally plant it because those beds are coming out. So Randy's like, well, what about using that wheelbarrow? So it's an old wheelbarrow we don't use. I think it has a flat tire.
yeah.
But So maybe planting them in something that you could take with you.
Yeah, that's a good idea because I do have a lot of like that I could plant them in. Yeah, and just move them. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because garlic. Come on.
No, I'm gonna be bummed next year when I don't have any of my own garlic because that is like one of my favorite things to grow. It seems so rewarding to me. I don't know why. I just like love it. I just love garlic.
Plant it in the fall and forget about it all winter long, and then in the spring you see these little
Yeah,
shoots.
it's just so cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then you get the garlic scapes in like the summer, and you don't usually get those unless you're growing your own garlic. Yeah.
Yep. So as far for cleaning out electric water buckets, making sure those are ready and good to go for cleaning out bedding and we do deep compost method typically throughout the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So we just keep like piling for the goats and for the chickens. We do that. The cows, Lucy and Ethel will be heading off to freezer camp beginning of December. So Claire, this will be our first winter with Claire having a calf through the winter. So, no, we had calves before that. We had the Jersey bull calves through the winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. We're going to be moving goats around, moving the Lucy and Ethel to the boy buck pen. So it's easier to load them when time comes because we can't get a trailer, a gooseneck trailer down to the lower. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I only have the chickens, obviously, for my but yeah, I'll probably just do like a really big, like thorough clean out of the like get everything like shop vac because there's all these like giant dust things that get in the ceiling and whatever. Just like get it like really nice and clean because I do the same thing. I do like a deep litter method over because it helps keep them warm too. So I want to make sure it's like a very clean slate before that starts happening. And last year I got like this plastic paneling that I put on their run just as like a wind block mostly. So it wasn't even all the way to the top. It was on the the bottom because of course they're like on the ground. So I'll make sure I have those panels out because they're just like basically plastic sheeting, and I just attach them with zip ties. So just make sure I have the, I'll probably get some bales of straw to stack those around to help with the wind. I probably don't even need to do all that, but I just worry about them. So, and they're like my only, because I have to worry.
You care about your chickens.
Yeah, so just make sure like little things. Yeah, I think that's all I really am going to have to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I did harvest the last of my honey from the beehives. I think one of my hives is dead.
Oh no.
Yeah, it didn't look good when I was in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Do you have to give them food over for the winter, or do they now are they like established enough that they don't need that, or?
So usually I keep enough honey. I leave them enough honey, and then I set aside some of the honey. I like freeze the frames. And clearly I will freeze the frames in the freezer, and then like late winter, if we have a nice enough day, I'll go in and I'll add some frames of honey, and then they'll just eat that through the winter. A lot of people feed them, and I feel like, well, they're putting away all this honey. I might as well
Leave them.
give them what they've been putting away.
Right. Because I'm sure that has other benefits to them too, obviously, because that's what they're making for themselves.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Cool. So I did write a couple like not home projects per se, but like just different things we have to do, like make sure the chimney's swept so that we can get some check the snow blower, make sure like that's functioning instead of waiting until it snows and you're like, oh crap, the snow blower's not working. That's just some couple things that I thought of that we should do before winter comes, because it comes fast. You always think, like, I have all this time, and then all of a sudden it's snowing out. So
yes, Andy and I were discussing. There's an additive that they put in the fuel. Maybe it's just, I don't remember. But there's a winter additive that they fuel.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about waiting until they put out the wind diesel for the tractor. And then I guess you can just buy the little bottle of additive and add it yourself and not wait for the winter diesel. So.
Okay. What does your snowblower
Yeah.
take diesel? Or do you have a snowblower?
We have a snowblower. I'm talking about the tractor. So that would be for the
Okay,
tractor.
okay. Because I'm like, our snowblower takes gas.
Good. So there is another additive in our gas cans. It helps the gas last longer.
Yeah, because I think we've done that too with like the lawnmower.
Stable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't. That's not really
Yeah.
my area of like stuff that I get involved in. I just like, go out and use it.
Mine either. It's Randy's. It's on his
Yeah,
list, but it's something that we need to make sure that we
right.
do. And I don't think you do use Staybill necessarily for the. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to stop talking about it.
Other people will be like, "Come on, lady, don't you know?"
Hey, at least I know what it's called,
Right. Yeah,
and I know what it
I
does.
just go out there and use the equipment. I don't like do anything to maintain it. I just use it. So,
I do that the oil is full, or the oil is topped off, the fuel is topped off, and there are air in the
mhm.
tires.
I do check the
So
fuel. Yeah, well, when I use the lawnmower, I make sure there's gas in it. That's all.
yeah,
That's the extent of it. Is there gas? Yes. All right, good to go.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably going to be mowing at least one or two more times. And let's see, I'm getting ready to head to Chicago tomorrow.
Oh, what are you doing there?
I'm going to watch Ashley run the Chicago Marathon.
Oh, wow. I didn't know she was doing
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's been training for a long time.
Is this her first marathon?
And it's her first full
Okay.
marathon. Yeah, but she picked Chicago.
I don't, yeah. I don't know what.
I only run if I'm getting chased by a
Right.
goat. So
Seriously.
yeah.
That's awesome, though.
So no, I'm super proud of her, and I'm glad that I get to be able to go. It is not a cheap trip.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and I can't wait to see her cross the finish
Yeah.
line.
So do you like know where you have to go to get your spot so you can like make sure you can see her or not? Or,
So I've downloaded the app, and there's different places. I guess they have a great subway in Chicago.
okay.
So there's like different areas where you can take the subway to go watch them run.
Hmm.
And with the marathon app, I can track her, like where she is
Oh,
on the course.
okay. Cool.
Yeah. So David and I'll get to hang out and and then she purchased spots so that we could watch her cross the finish line
Oh, awesome.
because there's 47,000 people or more
Yeah.
running this
Right.
thing.
And
I hate crowds. This will be fun.
it'll be fine.
It'll be
You'll
fine.
be with David, so that's good, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We'll have somebody to keep us each other entertained while
Right. That's so
take
cool.
goofy pictures. Yeah.
Well, wish her luck from me.
I will tell her. I will tell her. And I've never been. Well, I've been to Chicago, but I've never been outside of the airport.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. So I
So,
think I've been to the Chicago
but
airport. Actually, wait, I lied. When I was a little tiny child, my dad was working in Chicago, and I remember going to the Chicago Zoo, and there were giraffes. That's all I remember of the whole trip. So,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. So speaking of giraffes, what's your favorite mammal? Giraffes are a mammal, right?
Yeah, my favorite. So, my favorite mammal. I don't know because I really like birds. So, like, my favorite animal is an owl, but that's not a mammal.
Okay.
And then I also really like dolphins, but those are not. Are dolphins a mammal?
Aren't they?
Wait, dolphins. Dolphins are my favorite mammal. They are a mammal.
Aren't they?
Yeah, because
I
they
think they
there
are.
and they give birth to live young. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
believe that that's what makes you a mammal.
I do believe so.
So,
Mine is actually a giraffe.
oh, okay. That was my grandma.
Well, besides farm animals.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
if I could
mine's.
be any animal, it would be a dolphin.
Oh,
Yeah, feel like they would.
I almost got a dolphin tattoo when I was in the Coast Guard,
Oh, really?
but I did not because when I was considering going to get a tattoo, there was a group of people that lived in the barracks. Like 15 people went and got a tattoo all together.
Of dolphins?
And I was like, I'm not going. Never mind. I'm good.
So do you have any tattoos or no? No.
No, I have scars. I don't need tattoos. I have scars.
Yeah, I have tattoos, but I wouldn't get any more. I was a lot younger when I got them. So, all right.
Every once in a while, I start kicking it around in my head. Oh, maybe I should get one. And then it's like, no,
Yeah.
I have scars. I'm good.
Well, plus
I have enough marks on my body.
they're so expensive. It's like, yeah, I have other things I need to spend money on. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, me too.
I meant to mention this in my things that were going on, but I forgot. But I was on another podcast.
Yes.
So, if anyone is interested in homemaking, I was on The Art of Home, which is a podcast for homemaking. And she does like different homemaking, like portraits of different homemakers. So she just interviews you and whatever has questions. You get to just basically talk about your journey as a homemaker. And my episode aired yesterday, which was October 4th. So if you're interested in, check it out. So that was really cool to be on there.
So yesterday was the first time I listened to The Art of Home.
Okay.
And I listened to your podcast, and I really enjoyed
Oh,
it.
cool.
So I enjoyed it. And you are so modest. You are an amazing cook, and you make incredible things, and you're an awesome hostess. And I was like, and an awesome decorator. It's like, oh,
Thank you. I didn't even remember what I
wish I
said. I was like listening to it and I'm like, I don't even know what the heck I said because I like blacked out. I was so nervous when I was being interviewed. And then I couldn't remember the name of Luke's group. And Luke was like, you didn't remember the name of the group. I'm like, I was real nervous. So
yeah. It's hard when you're on the spot.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was like thinking it. I'm like, why don't I know? I've heard it a million times. Like what is happening? So
Yeah.
but yeah.
So be sure to check out Ginny on The Art of Home.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any more fall prep, homestead prep stuff?
No, I do have to get some soap stuff ready for some. It's not really craft fairs, but some events that are happening. That's kind of the barn cleanup is probably the biggest. We are gonna go get some more hay
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because the cows are eating a lot of hay.
How does Claire eat? Just mostly hay, or she doesn't eat any formula anymore, right?
Nope,
okay.
she is off the milk
She
replacer.
just got home and scared me.
I saw you jump. I was like, what? Like, why are you on my computer?
It's like I'm getting killed. It's gonna be on this podcast.
There's somebody coming into the house.
Gosh.
Oh, it's your husband.
Yeah.
Hi, Luke.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
So Claire's off milk replacer, and she is on big girl food.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because I didn't see you feeding her any of that when I was there. But okay.
No. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I have. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I guess no. The only other thing I forgot to say, like for the garden, which like whatever, but I usually go out. I have like hydrangea bushes, so I do like to go out and pick all the hydrangeas that are left, and I'll hang them like on the ceiling and like stuff like that. The ones that look nice, so that keeps a little bit of the summer-ish feel, during the winter. But yeah, no, that's really it. So that's all I got.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how this editing goes.
Yes. So wish Allison luck in the editing and
Cross everything.
this episode actually makes it to air.
I hope so.
So we thank you all for listening and watching now that we have a more streamlined way of doing it. If you do enjoy the podcast, if you wouldn't mind giving us a 5-star review, that would be sharing it with following it. That all helps find the podcast. You can also watch the video version of this on Allison's YouTube, which is Zig and Vine Home. You can find Allison on Instagram, Zig and Vine Homestead. The podcast is Figuring Out Homestead Life on Instagram. And I am Mrs. White Homemade Life on Instagram and YouTube. So you can find us everywhere. So follow us on all the places. And we really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll call you.
Okay.